A gunshot tore through the air at my daughter's graduation, and in that single second, my world collapsed. Blood spilled across her white dress as she slumped forward in her wheelchair, her eyes wide with shock. And when I looked up, I saw her Karen, our HOA president, clutching the gun, screaming about a ramp. She had no idea that the quiet father she'd been tormenting for years was also the governor of this state. The morning had started so beautifully, almost like a dream. Alex, my daughter, woke up beaming. She was 18, ready to walk, or rather wheel across that stage as valedictorian. She had practiced her speech for weeks, determined to show her classmates that strength came from struggle. She wore her blue gown over a simple white dress, hair curled neatly, her wheelchair polished until it gleamed. I made pancakes, she barely touched her nerves too high. I remember thinking, this is her day. Nothing can ruin this. I should have known better. 2 years earlier, we moved into Oak Ridge Estates, one of those gated communities with manicured lawns, approved mailbox colors, and rules about the height of your grass. My daughter needed a ramp after the accident that left her paralyzed at 5 years old, so I built one in the front yard, solid safe, painted to match our house. But Karen, the 55-year-old HOA president, hated it instantly. She showed up at my door, finger jabbing at the wood. That thing violates Section 4.2. All entrances must be uniform. Tear it down or face fines. I tried to explain. My daughter needs it. The back door has stairs. There's no other way. Karen's lips curled like I'd insulted her personally. Rules are rules. Remove it. And just like that, the war began. The letters started small. $100 fine, $200, then $500. I refused to pay. I hired a lawyer who reminded the board that the Americans with Disabilities Act protects ramps like ours. We won. Legally, we were untouchable. But winning in court only fueled Karen's hatred. She became obsessed. She photographed Alex's chair left on the porch for a few minutes and filed complaints for unsightly storage. She fined me $300 when I painted our mailbox blue to match the house. She whispered lies to neighbors, spreading poison. The worst came when she accused Alex of scratching her Mercedes. "I saw that wheelchair scrape my car door," she shouted at an HOA meeting. Neighbors gasped. Some actually believed her. Alex cried that night, asking me through tears, "Dad, why does Mrs. Wilkins hate me? I never did anything to her." What could I say? That some people are so broken they only find joy in breaking others. I held her and promised, "Don't let her change who you are. You're perfect." Inside, though, I started to wonder how far Karen would go. I got my answer on graduation day. The auditorium was packed with proud parents. Flowers lined the stage, flashes from cameras lit up the room. When Alex wheeled to the podium, her smile shone brighter than the lights. "Fellow graduates," she began, her voice clear, steady. Then came that deafening crack. I thought it was fireworks outside. But when I saw her body collapse, when I saw the crimson bloom on her dress, the truth hit me like a sledgehammer. I screamed. Her name ran onto the stage, my hand slipping on her blood as I held her head. "Stay with me, baby girl. Stay with me." Her lips trembled. "Dad, it hurts so much." My chest caved in. Around us, chaos erupted. People running, kids crying, teachers shouting for calm. And then through the panic, I saw Karen 10 rows back. Gun smoking in her hand, her face twisted with pure hatred. She ruined everything. The ramp. The rules. "She doesn't belong here," she shrieked. Security slammed her to the ground. Police stormed in, and still she kept yelling that my family had destroyed the community. In the ambulance, Alex drifted in and out of consciousness. "Am I going to die?" she whispered, her hand barely gripping mine. I lied. "No, baby, you're strong. You'll be fine." Inside, I was drowning. At the hospital, surgeons worked on her shattered shoulder. I sat in the waiting room for hours, covered in her blood, replaying every moment since we moved to Oak Ridge. And then came the worst thought of all. Maybe Karen was right. Maybe I should have built the ramp in the back. Maybe I should have given in. My daughter was lying on an operating table because I'd refused to compromise. That guilt nearly crushed me. But when I saw her afterward, fragile and bandaged, whispering through tears, why did she shoot me? Dad, what did I do wrong? I knew the truth. Karen wasn't punishing me for stubbornness. She was punishing Alex for existing, and I swore I would make her pay. That night after Alex finally slept, I made a call. Mia, it's Elias, I said quietly. I need you to investigate Karen Wilkins. Everything, criminal records, finances, all of it, and keep it off the books. Mia paused. Of course, Governor. Yes, Governor. No one in Oak Ridge knew my other life, the one where I ran this state. I had kept it hidden to give Alex normalcy. But now I was done hiding. Mia delivered a thick file the next day. Embezzlement. $67,000 stolen from the HOA disguised as educational trips. An old assault charge where she hit her ex-husband with a flower pot. Financial fraud, tax issues. Karen wasn't just a bully, she was a criminal. I handed it all to the district attorney. Within a week, Karen faced not just attempted murder, but charges of fraud and embezzlement. But my fight didn't stop there. Standing before the state legislature, I used every ounce of power I had. Too many homeowners associations have turned into tools of harassment. Families with disabilities suffer the most. We need protection. I pushed for the Fair Housing Communities Act limits on fines, mandatory audits, guaranteed rights for accessibility. Lawmakers nodded, many with their own HOA horror stories. The bill passed. Karen's HOA collapsed. When trial day came, the courthouse buzzed with reporters. The prosecutor laid it out clearly. Karen carried a loaded gun into a graduation and aimed it at a disabled teenager because of a ramp. The defense claimed stress and temporary insanity. Karen herself testified with ice in her voice that ramp violated community standards. It destroyed property values. The jury watched in disbelief. Then it was my turn. I took the stand as Elias Thompson, father of the victim. I described Alex's smile before the shot, the blood soaking my hands, her broken whisper asking why. The courtroom fell silent, jurors' eyes wet. Cross-examination came sharp. Isn't it true you refused to compromise? The defense sneered. I shot back. Would you tell someone in a wheelchair they can only enter their home through the back door like a servant? The lawyer had no answer. Finally, I made my move. Your Honor, I have one more thing to add. I removed my sunglasses and cap. Gasps rippled through the room. I am Governor Elias Thompson of this state. Cameras clicked furiously. Karen's face drained of color. That's impossible, she shouted, but my security detail confirmed it. And in that instant, the balance of power shifted forever. The jury returned swiftly, guilty on all counts. Attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, reckless endangerment, fraud, embezzlement. The judge's sentence was severe, 30 years in prison, no parole for 20. Karen screamed as guards dragged her away. You destroyed my life. I stared back, voice steady. You tried to destroy my daughters first. That's where her story ended, in shackles, her empire of petty power crumbling. She thought she could control us with fines, with fear, with bullets. But in the end, her obsession buried her. And if there's one thing I've learned through all this, it's that hate can wound, but it can never win against love, resilience, and the truth.